Okay, guys, so we've learned about what it means to be a real man so far. In principle one, we talked about how we are called to be fierce. We have taken that word and defined it in a way that gives you permission to be fierce. In principle two, we learned that we're fueled by dependency. That's what powers us. That's what makes us go forward. We're dependent upon God. We're dependent upon His Word. We're dependent upon each other. We fight together. We lock shields together. But there's no real victory, and you can't really be a man of God unless you understand the true meaning of obedience. This is another word like fierce that we have to attack here. Obedience is given a bad rap in our modern Western culture. It feels like if you care about obedience, it's almost a bad word. Like a guy will hear the word obey or obedience and think, well, I'm my own man. I'm the captain of my own destiny. But this is not what we're talking about. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 36 and verse 26, and we're going to learn what the prophet says about this concept of obedience. He says, this is the Lord speaking through Ezekiel, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone, kind of a reference to the Ten Commandments there, the laws and regulations, and I will give you a heart of flesh, and I will put my spirit in you and move you to follow my decrees and be careful to keep my laws. Then you will live in the land I gave your ancestors. You will be my people, and I will be your God. So right there, move you to follow. It says, my spirit is in you, and I will move you to follow. The Lord is putting Himself inside of you guys, and He is executing His own plan through you. You are the vessel He is using. If you open up your heart and your mind and your whole being to Him, He is going to put that spirit in you and He's going to move you. It's going to be something that you can't help. If you love Him so much and He loves you to this degree, what's going to happen is that you will be powered by this relationship. So we see that obedience is being moved to follow God. The Spirit in you will push you this way. At its best, most perfect level, this is the fact that you just can't help it. You want to do what pleases God. You found out what pleases God, and you want to do it. It's not a compulsion for you. So we've been talking about David and working through King David's life, and I think there's another little side episode in his life that most people don't know about, but it really illustrates this concept of obedience springing forth out of us and what happens when the Spirit is upon us. The context is this: in 2 Samuel 5, we see that David has been serving as a Philistine vassal for a while. He's been serving as a sort of a king administrator in his lands, subservient to their hated enemies, the Philistines. And finally, at one point, it looks like the timing is right, and the Lord tells David that it's time to go and overthrow the yoke of slavery and finally build this independent nation. So in 2 Samuel chapter 5:17, it says this: when the Philistines heard that David had been anointed king of Israel, they mobilized all of their forces to capture him. But David was told they were coming, so he went into the stronghold. The Philistines arrived and spread out across the valley of Rephaim. So David asked the Lord, "Should I go out to fight the Philistines? Will you hand them over to me?" The Lord replied to David, "Yes, go ahead. I will certainly hand them over to you." So David went to Baal Perazim and defeated the Philistines there. "The Lord did it," David exclaimed. "He burst through my enemies like a raging flood." So he named that place Baal Perazim, which means the Lord who bursts through. The Philistines abandoned their idols there, so David and his men confiscated them. And this is such a great story because what happens is David asked the Lord. He's setting himself up to obey the Lord. He's saying, "Should I go fight them? Will you hand them over to me?" Because practically, what you have to realize is that David did not have a monstrous standing army. He did not have all of the modern weapons. They were horrifically outnumbered. These were the hated enemy of their people. The Philistines would march into their land and rape, kill, and plunder and pillage. And so David is asking the Lord, knowing all of this, knowing that they don't logically have a chance here. He's saying, "Should I go out and fight them?" He's asking them, "Will you hand them over to me?" And the way the Lord replies to him, "Yes, go ahead. I will certainly hand them over to you." And that's all David needs. It's on at that point. And so it says he burst through them, defeated them. And what's the first thing David says? The first credit he gives? The Lord did it in verse 20. "The Lord did it," David exclaimed. "He burst through my enemies like a raging flood." So you can see David, this ultimate man's man, he's so excited because he realized through his obedience, God did something amazing and awesome. And here's the point. The enemy will flee before you when you obey God. You are never more threatening to the enemy than when you open yourself up to obey God. Do you see how obey has power in it? Victory doesn't just come from following your heart or following your head. You have a heart and head for a reason. They're good things. But what we are talking about here is kavod. Let's get back to that again. God is saying, let me do this through you. Let me awaken this glory. Let me awaken this honor. Let me give you the honor to participate in this with me. So guys, at home, at work, wherever we're at, we have the honor to participate with God in the work that he is doing. It's not tedious. It's not slavery. It's the most amazing, wild, untamed adventure you can possibly imagine. And yes, even if you're an accountant, this is for you. Even if you're a gardener, this is for you. If you're a husband, a father, a friend, whatever you are, you have a chance to be a threat wherever you're at to the enemy because you can obey God everywhere you are. You get to be that vessel of glory. It's awesome. But it will not happen without obedience. I don't want to just fire you up with this whole let's go out there and take the enemy without you realizing that we need to be reading his word. We need to be acting on his truth. We need to be leading our families through the word. We need to be in daily prayer, constant prayer. We need to make this such a part of our lives that we don't have any other option but to do it because we're finding such joy in it. You neutralize yourself and you neutralize your effectiveness if you don't realize that you have to obey God in all of these things. That is you teeing yourself up to be used by God in this way. That's what real obedience is. So if you're doing this with some other guys, go ahead and hit the pause button and talk about it, and we'll see you in the next video.